Hi there, everyone. Welcome again to Indian Story Read Along. Today's story is from an old Amar Chitra Katha book called More Tales from the Panchatantra. Panchatantra was a gathering, a collection of moral stories that were having to do with ancient times: kings, queens, sages, magic, demons, talking animals, like you'll see here. And all of them were to teach children and adults certain morals and lessons and a lot of psychology about how people think. So even though it's all animals, you will see through the animals' nature, the animals that they chose for certain stories, how people think and what the way that nature goes a lot of the time. So this story is called The Pretentious Owl. Kanakaksha, the owl, that means golden-eyed, had an extraordinary friend in Sumitra, the king of swans. That's very unusual, an owl and a swan being friends. And so he greets him every day. He goes, "Greetings, friend Sumitra." The swan goes, "Greetings, Kanakaksha." And the swan says, "I shall be with you in a moment. Let me settle a dispute among my subjects." And Kanakaksha says, "I'll wait here." Kanakaksha had told Sumitra that he too was a king. He goes, "He will shun me if I knew that I am a poor owl. I must do something to prove that I too am a king." You guys have to know something, that if someone is actually your friend and if it is worth wasting your time with another person, or spending your time with another person, they actually won't care about any of that. All they care is about who you are, whether you're fun, whether you're kind to them, whether you're nice, and if you have things in common. And so for some reason, this swan found that he liked the owl as he was, but the owl was mistaken in thinking he had to have the same status as the swan, which is not true. One day, he's peeking out of his hollow in the tree, and he says, the king is going to camp here tonight. I shall invite Sumitra and pretend that these are my men." Which makes no sense. Like, Sumitra is the king of swans, and they're all swans. Wouldn't you think that if you were a king owl, you would command owls? No, I'm going to get in charge of humans. But I mean, like, Kanakaksha clearly doesn't think things through. Unfortunately, and weirdly, being an owl, they're told to be very wise. And he's thinking he will be impressed with my status. The problem here is that even people who are wise can become insecure in these kind of situations. So he says, "Hello, Sumitra, I want you to visit my home." And Sumitra says, "I'd love to come someday." And then Kanakaksha says, "Not someday, today." And Swan says, "But..." Owl says, "No buts. I visit you every day. You should visit me too." And then the Swan says, "All right, tomorrow." And then Owl says, "Nope, today, if you value my friendship." So Kanakaksha prevailed upon Sumitra to visit his abode. And he says, "This is my domain, and these are my men." And Sumitra's like, magnificent. You guys, yeah, I always thought in this story, there is no way this swan believes any of this, but he's just kind of playing along to spare the owl's feelings. And I think that is true. Oh, see, there it is. He's lying, thinks Sumitra, but I will not hurt his feelings. And then Kanakaksha says, "My men are totally loyal to me." And the swan says, "Good. Are they proceeding on a march?" And Owl says, "No." Swan says, "But they're leaving." And Kanakaksha is like, "How can they without my orders?" This is a lot like dealing with a very small child. Um, you're just kind of playing along, and they believe that you believe them, but you don't believe them. And then the owl hooted, "Hoot, hoot, hoot, hoot." And then one of the guards says, "An owl hooting. It is a bad omen. Let us postpone our departure." And the army unpacked And Kanagaksha says, there, you see, my men are very obedient. Yes, yes, the swan says. And he's thinking, since he is my friend, I will humor him. Okay, now, if it were me in this situation, and I think a lot of you guys should do this, you should just be like, look, dude, I know they're not your army. They're humans. You're an owl. But I like you anyway. We're friends. And that's not the reason I like you is because you command an army or whatever it is you think. No, I like you because you're you. So really, there should have been honesty on both sides here. But the swan was trying to be polite. Next morning, boo, that's the sound that a conch shell makes. There, that old-fashioned alarm clock. And then Kanakaksha's back there in the background and he says, stupid men, did they not obey my order? And the owl hooted again. Hoot, hoot. And one guy says, ugh, drat that owl. We have to postpone our march again. And then Kanakaksha's like, I will pull up my general for indiscipline. And now, I mean, he should say something. The swan is thinking he's going too far. But still, he doesn't say anything. But when the owl hooted again on the third day to prevent the army's departure, hoot, hoot. The guard is like, blast that owl. Will someone take care of this ill omen maker? One of the soldiers comes out, goes, there he is. Takes aim, zing, zing, hits poor Sumitra right in the neck. He's not going to survive that. Oh, says Kanakaksha, and that's the end of Sumitra. Oh, my stupidity has cost my friend his life. The end. I'm sorry, this is the end. I was hoping that, they take Sumitra to the Swan Hospital and make him better, but no. But this is the importance of the moral. They didn't actually put the moral here, but you should figure this out. I mean, honesty is one of these things. Knowing that your friends are your friends because of who you are, not because of what you have. Then that's another thing. And also not being insecure. Because imagine if Sumitra was a jerk and he was like, yeah, I don't like you without an army. You don't want that guy for your friend anyway. So unfortunately, Kanakaksha had to learn this the hard way. Such a kind and good friend. So I wish it was a better story, but it is in some ways. Panchatantra is not about babying you. It's about teaching you. So this was the Pretentious Owl. And if you like stories like this, we read stories like this all the time. Please join us again on Indian Story Read Along. And please subscribe.